Good morning. I'm going to talk to you a bit about the causes of the peasants' revolt. And what happened links very closely to what happened in the Black Death. For example, one of the big things about the Black Death is that the freemen got higher wages, if you may remember. Well, not long afterwards, the king introduced a law which said you're not allowed to get paid more than you got paid before the Black Death. Now the freemen were furious about this, saying, what? It's illegal to pay peasants, to pay freemen more than the going rate before the Black Death. So wages had gone up for a while, and those people who'd survived, you imagine they'd have been miserable out of Black Death, killing my family, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm going to get paid more now that I've survived. Suddenly, the king introduced a law to say, no, you're not going to get paid more anymore. That was called the Statute of Labourers Act of 1351. You can see why that made them angry. There was also costly wars. I've told you this before. If you're going to be a dictator or ruler of a country, war's the most expensive thing you can do. And England was still trying to win back the lands from France that King John had lost, if you remember. And it was costing a fortune. So the king introduced poll tax to pay for the war. And the poll tax was, well, it was quite expensive. And whether you were a millionaire, nobody was a millionaire then, but whether you were stupendously rich or stupendously poor, it would cost 12 pence for everybody, rich or poor. And that was a lot of money if you were really poor. So that annoyed a lot of people. So there's tax, it's money. A lot of it's to do with money. But there's also the fact the king was 14 years old, and people thought, they didn't blame the king, to be fair, for what was causing all of this. They thought, he's a young lad, he's getting badly advised by people around him. And so they were after the advisors of the king. They actually came to kill at least one of the advisors, as you'll come to find out. The villains, they were already annoyed, because when they saw the freemen getting more money after the Black Death, they didn't get anything. What they were getting was not a fair deal, just by getting a bit of land and having to do loads of work for the Lord. And then there was a fella, an influential fella, called John Baum, who was travelling the country. He was a priest, and people listened to priests at the time. He was travelling the country, and he was telling people his ideas about how things should be, and how things should be fairer, and how the rich should perhaps be a bit less greedy, because people were all religious. The Bible was their key text, and the stories in the Bible about Jesus had nothing about Jesus keeping all the money and wealth to himself. He spread the wealth, whereas the rich here were being a bit unfair. And it all links together. Poll tax was one of the things that was unfair. The Statute of Labourers Act making the freemen get paid less again, that was unfair. It all links together. So there's my little introduction to why the peasants were so cross that they revolted in 1381.